Hi, other people. Um, First of all, my name is Rebecca, and I'm 18 years old in college, and I'd like to give you a little bit of background about me. For the first 6 to 7 years of my life, I lived in an abusive household. Um, Basically, that entails what you would expect. Um, Not getting enough to eat. By the time I was 5, I was making my own food and going days without eating and not eating properly, and during school I would get picked on and yelled at and nobody would do anything. When I got home, I would be, pushed around by my cousins when we shared the same room. Um, I also shared my bed with two Great Danes and a cat, and if the cat or the dogs, you know, relieved themselves on my bed, I would be forced to sleep with that at the age of 5. Um, my mom didn't really care. She didn't really, do anything for my well-being. I lived for just over 3 weeks out of the back of a car in a motel. I wasn't eating breakfast. I wasn't eating supper. I was barely eating lunch. I took showers that were ice cold in the middle of winter, and more than once, my mom brought a guy home and didn't make sure that I couldn't hear or something like that. She beat me more than once for crying when she was combing my hair because it was so tangled. I mean, literally, she took a brush and beat me on the back with it. Like this. Kind of. Like, you see these bristles right here? Yeah. These are what scarred my back after she cut them, and yeah. The clothes I have now are better than what I had when I lived with my mom. I mean, my clothes were always too tight, some of them were too loose, none of them really fit. Um, she only really took me to the doctor when she had to, and I can tell you right now that if she hadn't taken me to the doctor when I was 5 years old and I broke my ankle, I probably wouldn't know my dad. He had to fight for almost 5 years to keep custody of me, and when I turned 10 in the fall of 2004, he finally won custody of me. And it was the best thing for my family that I have now. It's me, my dad, and my grandparents. For Tommy Jordan, I understand where your daughter's coming from. I've often felt the same things, and I believe I sent you a message earlier, um, basically telling you everything I'm saying now, but it's just for everybody else to understand. Not every child is born and bred to understand that the adults set the rules so that they're safe and loved and happy. I mean, I've had my ups and downs with my parents, with my dad especially, and with my grandparents. I mean, you wouldn't even believe how many fights we've gotten into, but at the end of the day, unlike your daughter right now, I knew, and I still know, that they love me and that they care for me and that they're just doing what they want, what they need to do to protect me. I'm only 18. I'm a freshman in college, and I could tell you right now that for almost 4 years I've suffered from insomnia. And while you're not abusive towards your daughter, Mr. Jordan, and I'm really hoping I don't offend you by saying this, but some parents aren't so loving and caring. And so when a parent like you, obviously extremely loving and caring, gives their child something like a gift of a laptop, or, you know, a gift of a new phone or new clothes or something like that, they they underappreciate it. They don't take it as the gift that it is. And some people would say that you were being an Indian giver. I know that I grew up hearing that term, being in Wisconsin. And I'm not exactly sure if you know what that is, but for people that don't, um, it's when you give somebody something as a gift, but you take it back. If it's something that you bought for your child and it's not a gift, just letting them borrow it, then it's still yours. But I had this issue with my aunt 2 years ago when I wanted to get my license. She gave me $350 to sign up for driver's ed courses, and she held it over my head for almost a year and a half, actually, and is still holding it over my head. That I owe her that money plus more for everything. And she gave me that money as a gift for Christmas the previous year. So I definitely understand, like, both sides, I guess. Um, Point is, even though I believe shooting the laptop was a little bit too far, I can't really, you know, say anything against it because I know that if it had been me, I would have said a lot worse, and my dad probably would have done a lot worse. He wouldn't have shot the laptop, but he would have gone through it and he would have, you know, taken everything off of it. I mean, before I got the laptop I have now, I had to share my dad's laptop. So I had to be extremely, like, cautious with it. And I'm lucky that I got to borrow his laptop for my first month of college. I mean, I didn't have to be given his laptop. He could have said, no, you're going without it. You can do all your work in the library. Well, I'm extremely shy. I don't really leave my room. So that kind of fails. But yeah, so just keep up what you're doing. I love your parenting. And for everybody else watching this, I really hope it's not too long winded. So, bye.